Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending some time with me. I'm very excited for the month of November, and I am mostly looking forward to just getting back to a very tightly created, tightly followed budget. So I try to follow my budget and have it be as clean and put together as possible every single week. But this past month or so, just with so much being in flux and changing and stressful and worried and everything, it's just been a lot. And I noticed that I haven't been doing things as well as I could be. So nobody's fault but my own, and it also affects no one negatively but me. So I need to really get back into that and make sure that I'm doing things the way they need to be done. So you're looking at my budget planner, which is the same one I've been using for a while. It's got my happy planner in here in a vertical layout, and what I did was add the 18-month one from this year. So I have started, let's see, I have the last week of October, and then we are going to jump right into November. And what I like about this particular planner is how clean it is, and everything is very light, almost neutral, and just really nicely set up for tracking numbers, and it's not distracting. It's just very clean looking. So I'm going to hop into that for November, and I thought, what better way to kick off November's budget than by doing a November forecast. So I used to do these so diligently in the beginning of my channel, and I just kind of got away from the forecast and the recap, which is really, really important because it ends up showing you if everything that you planned and everything you did during the month actually was successful, if there are areas that you need to change or improve upon. And this is just such a great way to have a checks and balances system for yourself. And so why I ever got away from it, I have no idea. I'm going to chalk it up to laziness, but I need to get back into that, and November is going to be the first month to do so. So November also, when I'm forecasting this, I just want to note that I'm going to forecast as best as possible, but with my husband starting this new job, it's kind of going to be up in the air for now. So I am going to plan for his paychecks to be really small, and just smaller than they probably should be, or they will be eventually. So he's still in this training process, and he's going to be in it for at least 6 weeks. And in the meantime, his hours have been super sporadic. So I think they've had him working something like 25 hours a week recently, and that's not going to cut it in the long term, but we have to kind of go with the flow for now until everything irons itself out and he completes everything that he needs to do in order to be on the schedule full-time plus, and also independently operating on his own. So I'm going to write November forecast up here, and then the first thing that I do want to track are those pay dates for both of us. So everything is going to work out, you know what I mean? It's just going to be a little bit of, I don't want to say a delay, but almost a delay. It's just going to take a little bit of time for everything to happen the way it needs to happen. And like you guys know, if you've been watching for a while, if there's one thing I have learned in this whole process that we have gone through, it is that I need to be patient and trust that process. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, when is this going to change? When are we going to get, more stable? I think we are pretty stable regardless, but you know what I mean? You always want things to be just so. At least I do. And like I said, I've been learning a lot throughout this process, and those are lessons that I'm going to take with me moving forward, regardless of what happens. So if you're wondering what I did, I'm just adding some drop shadows on here just because that is pretty much as decorative as I'll be getting. I already did these banners and boxes just to save some time. But if you're wondering what I did with that back unemployment money, I really didn't do much of anything. Here's what I did. I caught up with some things that I needed to, because I wasn't budgeting as tightly as I should have been. I mean, I was plotting out my budget, but as you know, for the past couple weeks, I haven't even been doing that. So I caught up with a couple little things, and I started Christmas shopping, but instead of taking it from my Christmas club, because I wanted to kind of wait on that, and I kind of jumped the gun and I started Christmas shopping, and now I need to kind of reimburse myself from that Christmas club money. But I started doing that, so that's going to come out of Christmas club is going to pay myself back, so I need to take that out of my sinking fund and reimburse that to my checking account. See, I need to like talk these things through. But I am probably going to fulfill my emergency fund in its entirety. Now, I don't know what better way to use that money. I mean, I could pay off the flooring, I could pay off the mattress, but again, I know some of you don't agree with this, but I did get 0% interest credit card offers for those things, and I just don't feel like I'm in any hurry to pay them off this instant while I'm not being charged any interest. So I don't really know if that's the way I want to do it. But again, I know some of you don't agree with that. I am not against credit cards. I'm against using them irresponsibly, and I've been guilty of that in the past. And I'm against, racking up all kinds of debt that you don't have a plan to pay off, of course. But I'm not against credit card usage. Now, that's just me. I think everybody's different. And I think everybody needs to do what's right for themselves. And what I mean by that is have a plan. I think anytime you have a plan and you can see it through and you're disciplined enough to stick to it, I think that's just the way to go. So, okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty. So I always talk about this on my channel, but just in case there's anybody new tuning in, I received a pay cut when everything started happening with the quarantine. And I lost about $400 per month. So that's a big hit to take. And I'm hoping that around the first of the year that gets reinstated. But if not, I understand that it's going to be hopefully reinstated by July 1 at the latest. Now, could that change? Sure. Anything could change. If there's another lesson that I've learned during all this, it's that the unexpected can and sometimes does happen. So, you just kind of have to plan for the worst sometimes. And that's why I started that emergency fund. So I did that because when we were done paying off all our credit card debt, and if you guys are interested in our credit card debt journey, we had over $35,000 in credit card debt. So if you are currently feeling like you're drowning in credit card debt and there's no way out, because you just don't know where to start, believe me, from somebody who has been through that and come out the other side, it can be done. And, you just have to come up with your plan and stick to it. And again, knowing that things happen and life throws curveballs sometimes, but typically if you do come up with a plan, it's executable and it's within reason to stick to it. Now, again, some things are out of our control, but, for the most part, I think that we can all pretty much plan for things when we want to and when we need to. So with my pay cut, it's about $200 per pay. So I round down because I like to round down, never up. So I'm going to put $1,300, and I get paid on the 6th, and I get paid again on the 20th. So I get paid twice a month or every other week. So there's 2 months during the year where I get that third payday, and that is a beautiful thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in for my husband $500 a week. Now, that's not great as far as what we need for our budget and our bills, but I want to budget low because I can always go back and tweak this and raise it up. However, I don't want to budget on what I think this will be right around November 20th. You know, I'm kind of like, you know, guesstimating in my mind. I don't want to budget what I think it could be and then be disappointed and count on that money and not have it. So I would rather budget not super low, but I would rather budget low and then be able to add to it, because once I budget high, there's not much I can do about that except realize the consequences from doing that. All right, so so my total budgeting this way is going to be $4,600 for the month. So back when we were working consistently and our jobs were where they needed to be, this was more along the lines of like maybe closer to $7,000 a month, which was good because we needed all that money when we were paying off our credit card debt. And that's something that's so interesting. Timing is, I don't want to say it's everything, but sometimes timing is everything. Thank goodness that my husband didn't lose his job when we were on our journey of paying off our credit card debt, because we used a lot of our income to go toward that. We used some of his bonus money to go toward that. I got a promotion at work that we used to go toward that. All of those things would not be possible now. We don't have the same income. I will not be getting promoted, you know, I mean, who knows in life, but I mean, I got a pay cut instead of a promotion recently, and he doesn't get bonuses anymore. So it's just funny how things work out. And I just really have learned so much to just trust, and you'll see what happens. You'll see how your trust pays off. So anyway, all right, so let's start out with our variable expenses. And I'm going to write it this way just because I like the way it looks, you know, like kind of all laid out like this. So we always use the same ones every single week. We have 3 constants, and that is groceries, dog food. And I always say this, I probably could just add dog food, like groceries and dog food, but I don't know why I never do that. And then gas, and then miscellaneous. So miscellaneous right now is going to be just a luxury. And I say it's a luxury because I'm not going to add anything to that unless I'm able to. Oh man, I don't know why I did that. All right, so over here, I'm just going to write the next pay dates. Is it the 13th? Wow. November always seems like such a short month to me. Does it to you guys? I don't know why. I mean, it's not like it's a February, but it just seems so short. It seems like to just, I don't know, fly by. And maybe because it's kind of the kickoff to the holidays, and everybody's like prepping for Thanksgiving and Black Friday and kicking off their Christmas shopping and decorating for the house. There's a lot to do in November. At least there is at our house. So I was also curious. I think we are going to, I may have mentioned this in my vlog, but I think we're going to cancel our big Thanksgiving family dinner, and I think we're also going to cancel our Christmas one. And I just think that it's maybe the smartest thing for us to do right now. I don't know. But I was just wondering, is there anybody else who's doing that, whose plans have changed, or you're canceling things, or you're paring down? I'm just curious. And, you know, most people in my family are working. My mom is retired, you know, and she's older. And so she is not working, but most people in my family are. And so it's just kind of hard to decide what the right thing to do is. Now, I'm working, but I'm working from home. So, you know, I guess I interact with people less. Well, obviously I do. But I was just wondering, you know, what your feelings were on that and how it was going to affect the holidays. Like, are you considering, I don't know, canceling, or like I said, scaling down maybe? I don't know. It's a hard decision to make, and it's a sad decision to make, but it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? At least we're all here to make that decision. So I just, you know, wondered what your feelings were on that. Okay. All right. So I've written all this out. So groceries, I'm going to stick with 125. For dog food, 25. And then gas, I'm going to stick with 60. And miscellaneous, I'm not putting anything. So I'm going to replicate this here. 125, 25, 60. And then on November 20th, just in preparation for Thanksgiving. Now, my Thanksgiving will at least be my nephew, my mom, my husband, myself, and that might be it. But I do want to add an extra $25, you know, just for like some special things that we don't typically buy that we would buy for Thanksgiving dinner. Because we'll still obviously have dinner. I just don't think it's going to be the house full of people that we are used to having over. And Thanksgiving and Christmas are usually at our house every year, and everybody comes over here, and you know, it's just an awesome, fun, wonderful time of the year. But again, you know, I'm just trying to be cautious for everybody. So on November 6th, 125 plus, 25 plus 60 is 210. So I'm going to write that here, right here at the top. And we're going to total everything. Now this is going to be a long video, guys. But again, I thought maybe some of you would enjoy this, seeing the entire process on how to plot out the month. So 210 is going to be the figure for every week except Thanksgiving week. So 210 plus the extra 25 is going to be 235. Now you'll notice I still put nothing down for miscellaneous, and I'm not going to, because I have to figure that out on my own as things happen. I don't know, like if I do Christmas shopping, that's not going to really be counted as miscellaneous. That's going to be counted out of my Christmas money, and so on and so forth. So for fixed expenses, we are going to be considering December's bills. So the reason why, again, in case you're new here, we are talking about December and November is because I will have already paid off all of our November bills by November 2nd, let's just say. So my actual bills are about $26.86. And then I am rounding that to $2,700. Okay. And then that's pretty much it for that. So I need $2,700. So total $2,700. Okay. All right. Now just moving down, we're just going to write here in this box variable. And then, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. Okay. And then fixed, and then remaining, because I like to know what I have left, if anything. And if I'm at a zero budget, that's also perfect, because that means I've given all of our income, all of our dollars a purpose. But I do want to have a little bit of extra because I haven't accounted for anything extra. So 210 plus 210 plus 210 plus 235. It's going to be 865 for our variables. And then of course our fixed, we just figured that out, is going to be 2,700. So let's take this total up here, our income, 4,600. Fingers crossed it's going to be more than that, and I will go back and tweak this. But like, let's subtract 865, and then let's subtract 2,700. And that leaves us a grand total of $1,035 remaining. Okay. And that's it. That is my forecast. So as you can see, some things are going to need to be tweaked. Some things hopefully will need to be updated. and corrected as far as figuring low, but for the most part, this is what it looks like. And if nothing else changes, at all, and if this is just the way it stays with the income and our expenses, we still have just a little over $1,000 remaining to work with. And I think that's great. I think that that is perfect. So what I will do, if you would divide 1,000 by 4 weeks, that's $258 extra a week. So of course, what I'll do when I'm doing my weekly budgeting, you guys will see any extra that I have. So when I do my weekly budget, you'll see the income that comes in, you'll see the variable expenses that we have going out, and twice a month you'll see that I put aside the money for these bills. Of course, my income right now doesn't cover all of our bills, so I will have to add during one or more of these 4 weeks, so I can at least bring this up to $2,700. So usually what I do now when I get paid is I put that aside in its entirety. So that gives us $2,600. We need $2,700. So I could literally take $25 a week and come up with this number, or I could take $100 1 week and come up with that number. However I decide to do it, it will be outlined and explained in my weekly budgeting. But that's it. So let me take this piece of paper out. This is Tulle notebook paper, and it works pretty well. It's not the thickest paper, but it's pretty good quality. So what I want to do is I want to add this into my budget planner so I can refer to this, because when I do my recap at the end of November, I want to be able to look back on this and see, you know, how well I did, or I don't know, where I fell short, where I was mistaken, where I was correct. So Tulle notebook paper and Tulle notebook covers work great with the Happy Planner discs, and I absolutely love it. So for my personal Happy Planner, I did get a new Tulle notebook that has a plain, like a taupey beige cover, and I'll probably show you that to you guys in a different video, but I'm going to keep this one on for now. And this is also by Tulle, but it has been discontinued. This particular pattern and color is called Rose Gold Brilliance. So you may be able to find it on the corner of the internet somewhere, but yeah, for what I know right now, it has been discontinued. And to be honest, I haven't seen Tulle come out with anything super impressive since. I think this is so beautiful, and I wish I would have got a smaller one too, but they haven't really come out with anything super creative lately. They've come out with their chargeable notebooks, which I have zero interest in, and their basic colors, and also a plastic one. But I don't know, I just haven't been wowed by anything they've done lately. So hopefully they will come out with some new stuff in the spring, but we'll see. And also I will be going over my budget in this bullet journal too, for those of you who are interested in this style of budgeting as opposed to the Happy Planner. I really enjoy this, and I'm going to be doing an updated sinking funds and show you guys what I did with that extra money that came in. So yeah, lots of stuff going on, but thank you so much for watching. I know this is super long, but it should be long. You should take your time when you're doing your monthly forecast, and make sure that you consider everything that you need to, so you're not hit with any surprises that you didn't plan for. And yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next one. Take care.